Warning! You are watching a gray and confused Dutchman in his Portuguese recycle and woodwork shop. Sometimes using silly techniques you should not copy. You are responsible for safety measures and common sense when stepping into your own workshop. Beware of non-budget solutions. They are only to apply with the right mindset. Not just sawdust. Not just sawdust. Not just sawdust. Just sawdust. Not just sawdust.
Hi, welcome back in the Not Just Sawdust workshop. I think I can slowly start to call it a workshop. Now, since the last video a lot of things happened. We'll talk about that later on the back. First about the grass cutter. I mean, it's from Vonroc. Not that, you know, maybe it's the best brand over. I just have the batteries because I use Vonroc for like a few years for all my drills and everything, even the vacuum cleaner that's going to be under here, so when I'm sanding that I, you know, can get the dust out of there. It's not that they sponsor me or anything. They did a few years ago when they provided me a miter saw when a lot of things went wrong. But after a few years of using them, I'm very happy with the way they work, and the batteries are holding up really well, and I can't have anything negative to say about the tools except for the jigsaws. I've got two of them, so both types, and they're both not that great. I mean, everything bends, the whole plate is already bended, and they're too rough. There's too much play in everything, so you can't really use it for accurate cuts. That's the only negative thing I can say about the Vonroc 20 volt tools. All the tools work. The angle grinder, the drills, the hammer drill, the vacuum cleaners that are really cheap. Well, this is just 220 volt, it's not a 20 volt system, but everything works except for these bloody... I don't know what's wrong. There's something wrong in the mechanism or something they didn't do right, that they wander around. You can't make an accurate cut with them. So, but yeah, that's why I bought that grass cutter, because I just have the batteries, so I didn't have to buy a new tool. I didn't want a corded one, because you could even buy one for like 30 euros or something, like a corded one, but it's not a bush cutter, it's a grass cutter. It's just to keep a little place for the dogs, because I can try to make it into a nice garden, but with two of those dogs, they dig holes, they run around, they, you know, but because here in Portugal, yeah, you gotta be careful with you know, the little creatures in the grass, so it's better to cut that grass where they have a little place to play, cut it short and keep it short. And with this little thing, just for that little garden we have is more than enough. On a 2 amp battery I can cut the whole garden, so that's fine. But now, getting on here, I made the tool rack. Well, I guess it looks fine. I'm gonna later on talk about all the details, but for now, this day, I want to do something with the wall. And you know, I thought about this French cleat that everybody is doing and talking about, but that means I need strips of plywood or strips of solid wood, and I don't have that, you know. And as we recycle everything, I mean, that's why everything is in blue kind of paints, even like baby blue. I mean, it's just because I use paints that are here, and I'm not going to buy anything to do this workshop. So I'm going to make a system that from now on I'm just going to call the Portuguese Cleat System. And well, I'm just going to try to make it, and well, you can tag along and see what I'm doing. So let's do this.
Not just sawdust. Sawdust.
For those who are wondering, why didn't you use these bed things, these bed slats? Well, that's the sizes. 188 by 138 centimeters. That's the biggest one. And then 183 by 133. I used to be 176. Over the years, especially the last 6-7 years, I think I'm slowly getting down a bit to, well, around 172 at the moment. So I guess I'll shrink below the 170 in the end. But even for me, that's a small size bed. So yeah, European standard like 2 meters or 2.10 m would be normal. And if you're in Holland, 220, because everybody in Holland nowadays gets, you know, almost 2 meters long. But yeah, that's why we couldn't use them. And you know, we've got like the very well known one from IKEA, which is 2.10 meters long. So that's why I used them.
I found a table on the curbside, legs all chewed and scarred. Took it to my workshop, gave it back its heart. Sanded down the memories, every dent and every line. Now it's got a story and it's looking mighty fine. I make something new from something old. Rusty dreams turned into gold. With a hammer and a tune and a soul that's bold. Yeah, I make something new from something old. Copper pipes from Granny's sink, now they shine so bright. Twisting into lampstands, bringing back the light. Old hinges from a cupboard swing like a steel guitar. You can hear them creak the blues beneath the northern star. I make something new from something old, turning scraps into treasures untold. With a saw and a song and a will to unfold. Yeah, I make something new from something old. folks like me and you. One man's trash is another man's breakthrough. A broken chair, a battered door, it ain't waste, it's just before. Now don't you throw that metal out, that copper's got a soul. It used to warm a kettle, now it warms a heart of coal. The past ain't just behind us, it's waiting to be found. In every screw and splinter lying on the ground. We make something new from something old, breathing life into iron and ore. With our hands and hearts we break the mold. Yeah, we make something new from something old. So if you see a busted frame or a drawer that lost its way, don't mourn it, restore it, that's the recycler's way.
Well, the first one is on, and doesn't it look like some kind of a French Cleat System? The only difference is that these bed slab things, they're round instead of having a 45-degree angle, but I can make any little, you know, accessory for it, and just make sure that I make a centimeter thick little ledge on it so I can hang it on. So that's good. So let's do the second one. Well, that's going to be it for this video. My Portuguese cleat wall is ready. It's on there. And how I'm going to make the, you know, all the little holders for it, we'll see that in the future. Whatever tool comes along that I need to give a spot on there, you know, then we'll sort it out. So yeah, then I've got to find a place for my clamps, so maybe I make a little clamp rack that I can put on, but maybe I put them somewhere else, because I did put the clamps, the long clamps are already here on the side, just two bars, the stainless steel bars that were in the workshop. There's a lot of stainless steel, so and just put my longer clamps on there. It's not in the way, that's great. So I even used the last bed frame slab thing I had and put it here behind the lathe. And I don't know whether the lathe is going to be here, but we'll see. But at least I used everything. So the parts that I cut off from those on the wall, I used the the corners to make these brackets and bolted them in. So I've got some acacia wood up here, and maybe I'm going to use that in the future. I don't know. And then for the rest, well, all the hand planes are in, all the chisels and all the rasps. Got some spot left here to put something, but there will be enough tools because in my mind there must be another few boxes. So when I completely made this rack, in the end I found another box with 3 planes in it, so they're standing here. Now I know 2 of them are just old planes, maybe I restore them someday, maybe not. But my tongue and groove plane is here, and well, it just got a place there because there's no room up here anymore. Then I've got the little box over here. I just got this, you know, black, but that's where my very new plane is from, well, Timu. But I've tried it to round over corners or to make a little profile. It works fine. So, but it doesn't fit and all the other stuff with this shiny red color. So I just put some rivets in here, so it's a little black going over. So that's fine. The inside of the cabinets, well, that's going to be work of progress. So this is all going to hold stuff for recycled box guitars. I finally found a piece of wood, a piece of pine, that is suitable to make in front of the drawer here. So yeah, it was in the stock, so I can do that. And like on this side too, it's all going to be stuff for the little guitars, and you never know what. So I have to unpack all the boxes. I have to unpack all the boxes to see whatever's going to be in here. So for now, I'll just close these doors, and then they are, you know, it looks nice. So this has to go to the middle. It's going to stay loose. I think I'll make this blue to get in, you know, in line with everything. Already did some drawers, so I already got like a drawer with all my Dremels in it. Got a drawer with the hot glue tools. And then I've got one already with all my nails, bread nails and machines. So slowly everything getting its place. Just got to clean up a lot. But for now, that's it. I'm quite happy with this. I am happy with the way my drawer, my work table works. Yes, it's a bit rough, but there's going to be another thing built here which makes it a bit easier, but that's something for the future. But I can open it, and it takes a bit of pressure, but as you can see, and then it doesn't fall out, or I've got enough. I can really work on this. So, and I've got my soldering irons and all my soldering pewter and tin and all my little screwdrivers and things like that, mini stuff. So yeah, and when I don't need it, then I'll just pull everything back. It's got a socket here which I can put on or off, so if I got like a soldering iron in here, I can also put it off. So just an extra precaution. Putting it back in is quite easy. Just putting it out is a bit heavy, but it shouldn't be going too easy because I don't want it to come out completely. Still drills that belong to my hand drill, and there's going to be probably some hand drills up on here because I only had room for one in here, and I've got about, I don't know, 5 or 6. different ones with different kinds of heads on it, so for different kinds of drills. And believe it or not, sometimes I use these old drills because it's really nice to drill slow. Now, how I'm going to make my dog holes in here, I don't think I've got a 20mm drill, and I could, but getting that straight, something else coming up for that. But for now, that's it. Talk too much, I guess. Do some woodworking, it's a nice way to spend your time. Do some recycling, it's an even better way to spend your time. And I'll see you all in the next video. Hello.
Not just sawdust, not just sawdust, not just sawdust.